Welcome back, everybody. There we go. There's the game. We're gonna get started. We may have a brief blip shortly after we get started, because we have treats on the way. Excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna vamp for a minute or two here, as we've got the ad break doing the running thing. First of all, hello everyone. We missed Monday night's stream for reasons that I'll talk about in a bit, but we'll get there when we get there. But we are back now with more Slay the Princess. Uh, Hello to Alice and Mux and to Bob, and I've probably missed somebody already. To Bad Road. Hello to September and to Remy. Hello, Mux. Did Do I have to? Let's see. First time on stream. Hope I don't need to have seen episodes 1 through 3. I'll do my best to catch you up. There's so much has happened, and this game is wild. There's no way I'm going to be able to summarize it, but it is kind of a time loop sort of a thing. So
Good luck.
there's that. We're kind of in the middle of a loop now, but we'll get back to the start of one. So of all the games to come in the middle of, this is a good one. So you got that going for you. But welcome everyone, welcome back. And that's all that on that. And all of this is probably being lost to the ad break, I realized. So we'll probably repeat some of it here in like 45 seconds. So also hi VOD watchers, good to see y'all in the future whenever you're watching this later. Um, like I said, I'm just sort of babbling on, vamping for time, as one does when one is waiting on an ad break. Um, I had more stuff to say here, and then I forgot it all immediately. So that's how that goes. Right. Well, what was I gonna say? Felicia has to be confused and lost. Excellent. That's also going to be me a lot for this game because the Slay the Princess so far has been it takes some wild narrative turns and gives us a huge amount of control in terms of like where to go, and I have done my best to like try and kind of predict or guess where it's going, and I've been surprised so many times. So I have a feeling that's going to keep happening. We're gonna go on this journey together, which is kind of it's great. Um, right, we slipped the princess. She's a ghost now. That's the most immediate one. Yeah, this latest loop I think is a very short summary. So at least this one's pretty easy. Um, Thank you, Badra. That is actually the thing that I was trying to remember to do a minute ago, which was to summarize the most recent loop. But yeah, so we started out being narrated at by a narrator, the appropriately named narrator, who instructed us that ahead, along a path in the woods, is a cabin, and in that cabin is a princess. And we are supposed to slay the princess because if we don't slay the princess, then she's going to destroy the world.
If you
And
notice, it is in fact a cabin in the woods.
it is, in fact, a cabin in the woods. And we were given then the option to ask a whole bunch of questions about this because the we were just immediately thrown into the middle of things with no other information other than what we decided to ask about. And started asking a whole bunch of questions, and kind of in our first loop, sort of threw the premise back and said, "We're not doing that thing. That's a ridiculous thing. We don't know who you are. You provided us no proof that the princess has any ability to destroy the world, or that maybe we don't like this world. Why do we care if it gets destroyed?" We essentially decided that we're not just going to blindly trust this narrator and their agenda. Marched into the basement without a dagger, and were, after a brief conversation with the princess, who was chained up in a basement of this cabin, a very dungeon-like sort of cellar, were ultimately killed by said priestess, who had kind of gone half monstrous in the process. That led to a second loop where we discovered that after killing us, she was not able to escape the basement. So on the second loop, she did kill us again, but this time ate us whole so as to keep us alive because she'd apparently figured out that she couldn't leave the basement, but we could. So by eating us, she thought that she could leave by using us as the key. And I don't remember if we figured out if that worked because we essentially tried to. This is where things are going to get gross. Claw our way out from the inside. That didn't work out so great for us. And I don't think it worked out great for her either. It was a bad time all around. And that's kind of my segue into the fact that this is a horror game. It's also it's many things. It's a horror game. It's a very existential game. It's a love story, as the nice little screen in the bottom there is reminding us. It's an intense game, certainly. That loop was, and then we got to the end of our first kind of series of loops and kind of got outside of the structure and learned that there's big forces at play. Our second loop ended with the princess becoming this titanic, almost godlike entity and erupting out of the hillside. That was fun. And our third loop, which is the one that we're on now, I decided that just because we hadn't done it yet, let's just do exactly what the narrator is asking us to do. Let's go to the cabin. Let's pick up the knife. Let's slay the princess. And we did that without hesitation, without questioning, and it went great. We killed the princess, and then we turned around to leave. Only the world wasn't there anymore. There was just the cabin. And the narrator was like, "Hey, good job, you did it. The world is saved." Because at no point did the narrator say that we would be included in the world that was saved. And so we were just stuck. And the narrator reminded us that, "Hey, great job. And also, aren't you happy? You've done it. You've succeeded. A plus." Um, a thing I've left out in all this is that each loop that we go through, and including the very first loop that we were on, in addition to the narrator, there are these voices that we meet. We start with the voice of the hero, typically, and then each time that we die and start over again, we get an additional voice based on the nature of the sticky end that we met last time. Uh, so the time that we got killed by a very feral version of the princess, we picked up the voice of the hunted, and things like that. So anyway, when we did what the narrator asked and we slew the princess, we did what it says on the box art. We did the slay the princess route, and then we're stuck in this cabin forever, twiddling our thumbs. Eventually, the voice of the hero let us know that there is in fact still a way out of this cabin. And this is where I again remind that this is a horror game, as there was still a knife down in the basement, and the hero suggested that we take the only other way out, which was we use the knife on ourselves. And that was how we ended that route. Uh, and now we're on chapter two, where we've gone back up to the cabin, gone down into the basement, and instead of a princess, we've found a pile of bones. And then emerging, smiling through the floor, is a phantom of a princess who is now chatting with us. So that's where we're picking up tonight. We're talking to the ghost of the princess that we slew in chapter one. Um, I don't think I brought the knife with us, which I don't know what help it would have given us anyway. So at least we're starting off on the right foot by not coming down armed. So hopefully we'll be able to talk with the specter and possibly inspect her. Sorry, that was a terrible segue. I went on the word pun. But we're gonna have a chat, is what we're gonna do, and see,
And then date.
and then date. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Listen, the night's young, but yeah. Anyhow, that's where we're starting. Before we start, though, as I keep alluding to the fact that this is a horror game, we're going to talk about content warnings down there. So this game has, first of all, it does have some flashing screens and strobing images and things like that. So I obviously want to alert people about that for those who have such concerns. I did mention right off the start that this game has scenes of graphic violence. Bad Road let us know we've kind of dealt with one of the most graphic ones, but not all of the scenes of graphic violence. So forewarning that there will be more of those. Blood, gore, body horror, death we're literally starting with a ghost tonight, but there will probably be other scenes of that. We've had multiple scenes now of suicide involving the hero, but there may be other characters dealing with suicide as well. Drowning, suffocation, immolation, torture, gaslighting. The narrator has been a big fan of gaslighting, we've found. But those are kind of the major highlights. But obviously, for a more comprehensive list, either head to doesthedogdie.com and search for Slay the Princess, or click on the link in our CW tag, or head to blacktabbygames.com and check their content warnings page for Slay the Princess, which is also linked in our CW tags. I would recommend either one of those, whichever resource you feel more comfortable with. I think they're both pretty great, pretty comprehensive in terms of drilling down, not just in terms of what content warnings are here, hey Demon Dog, but also where they appear in the story. So if you are looking for a more advanced warning and do not mind chapter spoilers in terms of what's coming, the chapters are all named, so you'll see the chapter title before, so you may be able to track, to be able to brace yourself for what's coming, or step away if you need to. As I often say, do what you need to do to take care of you. All right, so with all that, give me just one moment to check on the thing that we have en route. Any moment now. Do I just stall for time a little bit longer? No, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Excellent. Any moment now, we have delicious treats arriving. So I may step away here just right at the start. We'll see. But first, this is a love story, which remains just my favorite line of text right here on the title screen. It's so cute. And honestly, like, the game reinforces this. It's the kind of line that, like, I either expected to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek, or to be the kind of thing that was only going to be made apparent, like, at the very end. But I feel like this has already been a through line that we've seen reinforced several times just in the first few hours of the game, and I think that's very cool, considering that it's still very clearly a horror game with a, like, heavy meta narrative. Oh, excellent. Well, good. Then you'll have the VODs of our first 3 episodes to enjoy. All right, so we'll dive into this. Load the thingy. Yeah, these are the same. Yes, you can. I love that the save game page is a perfect still image of where we left off, so that we know that we're in the right place. All right, that is very quiet. I may kick this up a little bit, although that's also very quiet in my headphones, so that may just be the scene is very quiet at the moment. Aha. Perfect timing. Everyone hold tight for just one moment, and I shall return with treats. Talk amongst yourselves, or whatever you need to do. Hey. Ah. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. There, dodge, dodge. You ever just get a craving and need to take care of it before stream?
Yeah.
All right, and we're back. So yeah, we just had a craving, and timing worked out just bad enough that it was like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and start streaming. It'll be here soon enough. There we go. But now I have horchata. And also stuff stuck to me. 1 second, sorry. Sorry for all the delays, everyone. Hope you haven't minded being left with the ghostly princess. I'm talking amongst myself. Listen. Appreciate you sticking to the prompt here. I'll give you a topic. Does anyone still remember that Saturday Night Live bit? It's been so long. I am old. You're not incorrect. Alright, now we can actually start the game.
The game already
Is that not a crab on your shirt? It is a crab on my shirt. Why not crab? Carcinization now is the bottom half of the shirt. Okay, so the last she left us with was because I might be interested in seeing a little begging, which is a hell of a line for us to come in on. And we have just so many options to open. Battle for is still my favorite shirt. That was a great round of TKO. Not that there are a lot of bad rounds of TKO. But yeah, Battle for still reigns supreme. This is exactly what I was trying to tell you about in the woods. This already happened. We killed her. I killed you. What are you doing not being dead? It's rude, frankly. Do you know why you came back? Stop playing the victim. You threatened me last time. This is technically true, but we also stabbed her, which is not exactly a proportionate response. Sorry I killed you last time. I shouldn't have done that. I overreacted, and that was bad of me. It feels like coming in with a prepared apology. Do you want me to die? Do you want me to kill myself to satisfy some sort of sick revenge fantasy? Because I already did that, and it wouldn't be hard to do it again. Technically true. But I don't think we open with this. I'm sorry, is there any way I can make it up to you? This would be the begging that she's asking for. The people who wanted you dead tricked me, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's team up. I still love this, because I like the idea of the two of us teaming up against the narrator. But I kind of want to get some reconnaissance first, because this is our opener. What do you want from me? That feels combative. But the tone might say a lot, I don't know. If I knew I'd wind up having to talk to you again, I wouldn't have slain you. I appreciate the honesty in that. I died too, and I'm not floating around like you are. What happened? Why am I different? Why are you different? You're dead, or at least mostly dead. What can you even do to hurt me? Never ask a ghost this question. Just tips for life. After I killed you, this cabin, I want to say it teleported? It wasn't in the woods anymore. Time stopped meaning anything, and I had to kill myself to escape. I guess I should tell you why I was sent to kill you. You were going to end the world. So these are both giving her a lot of information, which I like in theory, but it seems dangerous until we know more about motive. I was told you were going to end the world, which is the same thing, but just less. Okay, clearly slaying you isn't going to work. What do you want? Okay, team, I'm out of ideas. Thoughts? Just crowdsource it? If you're dead, then there really isn't much for me to do, is there? I guess I'll get going. Leave her in the basement. Just turn around and go. What are you gonna do? Stab me? Love it. I don't think there's much more for us to talk about. I'm going to get my blade, and then the two of us can fight. Buddy, what do you think that... How do you see that going? How does that go in your head?
Sexy fighting.
Yep. Sexy fighting. I don't think we're gonna be able to stab a ghost. And grab the princess. I also don't think that's gonna work. So, okay, all of our good options, I think, are up in the top, like, up in here. Then the two of us can fight. I mean, at least it's something to do, right? Now, if that were an option, I would consider it. Do you know why you came back is tempting. I'm sorry I killed you last time. I shouldn't have done that is sweet and cute. Aha, ooh, ooh. Thank you very much. Anemic Anemic. Haha. Ooh. Ah, well. Never mind. Ignore that. Thank you very much, mods. So I was just working my way through the name, and I'm sitting there going, that seems like a random group of nouns, and it turns or adjectives, and it turns out there's a reason for that. Ah, but. Sorry I killed you last time. I shouldn't have done that. It feels like a grade school apology. I think we're above that. Is there any way I can make it up to you? Maybe we do open with the enemy of my enemy option. I think, here we go. I died too, and I'm not floating around like you are. What happened? Why am I different? Why are you different? Let's get at the nature of things.
You don't look dead, killer.
I forgot that she's calling us killer now, which is appropriate, but still.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are.
Yeah, same.
I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here.
So this is another thing that's consistent, is that she's always trapped in this space, and if we kill her, then we're trapped in this space.
I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all,
That took a turn.
Absolutely not.
You stay out of this.
Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
You see, I was gonna let you, and then you did that. Listen, I'm not ruling it out. Oh.
Would she be able to see us if we went along with it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
Oh, I like this.
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Okay. This will just be temporary, right? You'll leave once we're out of the cabin? That's... What answer are you expecting to this that you can trust? If I let you in, do I still get to be in control? Again, what answer are you expecting to this that you can trust? Before I agree to anything, we need to talk about what happens after you leave this place. I was told you'd end the world. Okay. That's not bad. Or we can go back to the list of options. Let's start with, what if I say no?
then I won't hitch a ride.
Okay. Ooh, good clarification. You won't or you can't if I say no.
I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you.
You know what? That's fair.
But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
Oh, buddy, you haven't seen Crowded yet.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body. That is a very dangerous train of thought.
Yeah, I still don't like these options because, again, there's no answer she could give that we would trust. Like, it just, yeah, this just... It would be interesting to see just how she would respond, but I'm looking for information. I want to see how she responds to this. Before I agree to anything, we need to talk about what happens after you leave this place. I was told you'd end the world.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
She said the thing.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is all that matters. Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of questions that we haven't asked, and there's at least one of them that I want to ask before we... Because I have a feeling that if we let her in, that's going to end this chapter. And I definitely got more things I want to ask. Obviously, it was wrong of me to believe that. How could you have ended the world if all it took to kill you was a knife to the heart? I'm not sure that holds up, but I see the train of thought. What are you going to do if I help you get out of here? Well, were you going to end the world? You didn't answer my question. Do you want to end the world? Okay. Alright. Yeah, you didn't answer my question. Do you want to end the world?
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
And what are you going to do if I help you get out of here?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt.
That does sound fun.
Maybe I'll haunt you.
Coming around to this idea.
It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Especially when that someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
I don't think most living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want?
Maybe I'll haunt you as flirting. I also read it that way, yes. You still didn't answer my question. Even if you don't want to end it, does letting you out of here mean the world is going to end? I don't know that she knows... Well, Yeah, let's keep pressing this line and see what happens.
It does. We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
I really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's home, I think.
Oh, this is very good.
But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended, but I also didn't. And you ended too. But here you are. And you don't even look any different. I'm not so sure endings are real.
Well, that's a hell of a line in this context. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Okay, that takes us all the way back. Fantastic. Do you know why you came back?
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me.
What about burnt ends? Are those real?
All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper. A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, this is good. This is very good. I'm sorry I killed you last time. I shouldn't have done that. I don't want to leave this until we've at least said this.
Too little, too late. But you can still make things right.
Valid.
She's not in a position to bargain with us. You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Also valid.
We don't have to do anything, but maybe we should. We did kill her. Wouldn't it be the moral thing to help her now that we have another chance? When a hero slays a monster, does he apologize to it? No. So don't try to make things right. She was going to end the world. You didn't do anything wrong, aside from apparently killing yourself, and that doesn't have much to do with her.
After I killed you, this cabin, I want to say it teleported? It wasn't in the woods anymore. Time stopped meaning anything, and I had to kill myself to escape.
You poor thing. That must have been so frightening for you.
You know, after everything we've been through, it's nice to see someone finally sympathizing with us. This whole thing's been an ordeal, hasn't it?
Hero follows the narrator's words far too easily. I think the narrator just follows too easily. Like, he's just again, back to the voices are all incredibly internally consistent. The hero is just incredibly trusting to, like, the last thing he's heard. Except in that one chapter where he was a little bit different, where he started just being incredibly combative with the broken.
She doesn't mean it.
It serves you right.
There it is.
I was pretty scared too, when you stood there not saying a word with a knife clenched in your fist. But now you know how bad it hurts to get stabbed in the chest.
It sounds like you got exactly what you were owed.
I like the Spectre a lot. Okay, team, I'm out of ideas. So we've, somewhere in the midst of this, lost the option to team up against the narrator. I think. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh, no. Okay, well, and that actually does kind of make sense. I think that was one of those sort of no hesitation options. Can't let you out. I won't let you possess me. If you're dead, there really isn't much for me to do, is there? I guess I'll get going. I definitely don't want to do this. That's just very cruel, and I don't like it. This gives us the option to just stay here with her, which is interesting. And then there's this one, which will probably end the scene. Let's see what the trio have to say about this. Okay, team, I'm out of ideas. Thoughts?
We could always try violence. It's worked for us so far. She's a ghost. Who says ghosts are immune to violence?
Okay, you've raised a good point. I've been making some assumptions about the natures of ghosts here.
Common sense? There's nothing common or sensible about common sense. Action and observation are the only things that matter.
Now, that's a very good point, actually. That's a very good point. Not just about, like, ghosts and how they do or do not respond to, like, daggers or whatever, but, like, broadly about the game. Me assuming that the dagger was going to be no good against a ghost is based on assumptions about how things ought to work. Which is a thing that the game has been trying to get us to stop assuming. Generally.
Fine. Then let me observe that the acts of killing her and killing ourselves haven't got us much of anywhere. We're still back in this cabin, we're still dealing with her, only now she has a good reason to hate us.
I suppose you have a point. Do you have any ideas then?
I appreciate that the narrator has so far stayed out of this debate.
I don't know. Maybe we do what she wants. Maybe we let her possess us and walk out of here.
We could. It would be something different. I like different.
Okay, so the committee is on board with the possession plan.
Absolutely not. If you walk her out of here, she's going to end the world.
I'm sorry, narrator. Vote passes 2-1.
And is that really so bad?
Yes, it is by its very definition bad.
But those are the only options, aren't they? Violence or doing what she wants. Or just leaving her down here. Though ignoring a problem is rarely a solution, is it?
I don't know if I'm annoyed or not by how often I agree with the cold so far. She's going to end the world. The narrator's always saying this. Yeah. Yeah. If you can go through walls, can't you just leave on your own? She kind of already addressed this, so I wonder if we ask this, will we get more details about kind of the nature of her being tied to this place?
I wish that's how it worked, but this place won't let me go.
Nope. Alright, well, it was worth a shot. I think I'm down to one of these two. Either we do the possession, or we just say, I can't let you out, and I won't let you possess me, and we see if that gives us the option to just stay here with her. Indefinitely. Which I'm sure the game will force us to a route that results in us, like, dying and resetting, but I'm curious to know what that'll look like. Because I don't want to do this. And I don't want to do this. And this is so ambiguous in a weird way, despite only being 3 words long. This one is tempting, and the voices are both, like, on board might be overstating it, but they don't seem opposed to it. It'd be interesting. She could talk to the narrator directly. We might get some information just out of that conversation. And we could always come back down this path if it doesn't work out this way. I'm gonna try this and see, because I don't think that this is going to. I don't think the game is going to let us essentially stalemate. So I'm curious what this will take us to instead. I appreciate cutting through the nonsense and steely pragmatism. Yeah, exactly. I think that there's a lot to that just kind of resonates. Okay, I've given it enough thought. The answer is no. I can't let you out, and I won't let you possess me.
Oh, is that how it is? That's sad.
This is the part on Sprockets where we die.
I guess we'll have to fight then.
The princess passes through you, a chill rippling along your skin, a disappointed sigh echoing in your ears. You turn and face her as she hovers between you and the stairs.
She looks so sad.
Spectral tears streak down her cheeks as she places a translucent hand on your chest. It feels cold, but otherwise like nothing at all.
Are we doing the right thing? Why do I feel so sad?
Oh, I have a theory.
Don't let her get to you. It doesn't matter. Somehow, soon, this too will be over, and we'll move on to something new. I feel like you all keep forgetting that. Her dark-rimmed eyes fall to the floor as she speaks.
I never wanted to have to hurt anybody. It's not who I wanted to be.
The tears on her cheeks vanish. She lifts her head, sorrow replaced with wrath, staring into you with fiery anger.
But I guess you've turned me into something worse.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then...
Yes?
Oh. Oh. What a lovely interruption.
nothing happens.
Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine.
Oh. Oh. Hello? Did you miss I'm not afraid of you? Stare at her in silence or step away. Did you miss is genuinely very funny. Like, did you miss? Crap, all of these are good. Oh no, Andy, you stalemated. Yes! Every time I think I've predicted this game. Oh no, I like all of them. Oh no. Okay, I'm not going with step away. I don't think I want to do Did You Miss, as funny as Did You Miss is. So it's going to be one of the middle two. I think we just linger in this moment. I'm going to stare at her in silence.
You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. The horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. Pity we don't have a weapon.
Your last moments are spent a helpless witness as she rips her hand from your chest, holding your still beating heart in her clenched fist.
But that's ours.
That shouldn't be so funny, but that's mine. Put it back.
See you soon, killer.
Incredible.
She crushes it, blood and ruined vascular tissue leaking from between her fingers, dribbling unceremoniously to the floor. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Drop it. Drop it. This game shouldn't be this charming. It's so good. Oh. You can't kill her in a way that matters. It's true. That's exactly right. Oh. Hey, from the Spectre to the Wraith. Phenomenal. Thank you, Bob.
You're on a path in the wood, and here we go again. Off to slay her. Again.
Phenomenal. Well, as we've done so many times. Wow, look at the cobwebs. Cool and neat. As we've done many times before here at the start of chapter 3, we're gonna take this opportunity to go to the break before the ads start on their own. So we're gonna step away for just a few minutes here, stand up, stretch, get a drink, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourselves. We're going to go to the break screen, which is also an opportunity for me to relay some, unfortunately, bad news. Some of you all already know this, but for those who have not heard, on the break screen, you're going to see a lovely little animated GIF of Arthur, one of our lovely stream cats, who unfortunately left us yesterday. So I debated switching it out but I decided, you know what, honestly, it feels very appropriate to leave up, at least for a little while, you know. But yeah, we're gonna step away for a few minutes and let some ads run. Block them if you got them, and then we'll be back with more of this in just a few. And back. Sorry, that was probably very loud. There and there. I burp. Alright. These cobwebs are concerning. Realizing I didn't personally check for spiders on the warning list. But, oh good, okay. It was behind the microphone, so maybe it wasn't too bad. But, you know, just from visual storytelling, I have concerns.
The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her,
But
we
cheated.
start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it.
I love it. Alright, so we've had the cold, the hunted, the broken. There's so many good adjectives. Content warning, corn.
Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right answer.
I love that the game's title screen specifically says that there are no wrong answers. It does not say that there are any right answers.
Ah, and what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them. Wouldn't that get, I don't know, boring? Okay, so you've already been here. Twice, even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory.
I appreciate that the narrator saying twice even suggests that they can tell from the number of voices.
Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess.
Actually, no, they may have guessed that from the cheated outlining the scenarios. Never mind, ignore me.
Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves. And why, pray tell, did you do that? Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us. That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy.
It's true, I was there.
Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. It was boring. It was bullshit. So you killed yourself?
I think these voices should unionize.
Yes. And then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seemed to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish.
Yeah, right. What people? We haven't seen anyone else.
All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something. Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll even free her.
Alright, now we get to participate. Why should we help you? All you're going to do is lock us away forever again. Are you the same narrator we met on all the other loops? You were quick to accept that we've been here before. Ooh, I like this. We've killed her and we've been killed by her, and neither of those things have gone well for us. If we're going to fall through this loop forever, eventually we're going to let her out. We might as well do it now. I like both of these. What happens if we don't go to the cabin? That's another option. We could meet the Contrarian again. There's something else we haven't tried. Turn around and leave. Again, we could just, yeah. Ah, absolutely amazing. I'm gonna go with, are you the same narrator we met on the other loops?
If I had to make a wager, I'd say yes and no. That's a hedge, not a wager.
Thank you.
I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you say or do anything, in effect making them all separate.
Okay. You know what? I like your framing.
So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different.
You're a divergent me. I accept.
I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. Maybe there's some way she can take care of him for us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm no longer worried about how often I agree with Nicole. I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it is such an incredible line. just opening with, I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him. God, like he's already been working out the math this whole time. Oh, wow. Nicole is difficult to argue with because he only deals in facts. Exactly. Just, Divergent Me, the movie with with the yellow toddlers.
They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it.
Yes, as opposed to you, who are clearly unbiased. Although, technically you only said that we're unbiased, which I appreciate. You're still wrong. We've killed her and been killed by her, and neither of those things have gone well for us. If we're going to fall through this loop forever, eventually we're going to let her out. Might as well do it now. Let's go fatalism path.
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever.
Twice? Oh, buddy, get on my level.
Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. The world itself is at a tipping point. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things would be easier if you didn't, and you can just keep making the correct choice forever, never deviating.
I appreciate that even after all this time, even though the narrator has said different things in each loop, and even though I do not trust the narrator and the narrator's agenda, I appreciate that the narrator consistently says compelling things like this. It's incredibly good writing, in my opinion, to be able to make I'm going to call the narrator an antagonist, regardless of whether the narrator is evil in any like classic sense. I do think the narrator is antagonistic. It's incredibly difficult to write an antagonist who is equal parts compelling and wrong. And I think that they have absolutely nailed it.
How convenient. Everything always comes back to what you want us to do. I'm sick of him. Makes me want to end the world out of spite.
On second thought, let's not kill him. Let's throw him someplace that never ends. I'd like to see what that does to him.
Yeah, okay. Voice of the cold, new favorite. That's you and me to the end, bud. Right, antagonists don't have to be evil, they just have to fight back against the protagonist. Exactly. What happens if we don't go to the cabin? That's another option. Let's ask. I'm not saying we're going to do this, but I want to see how the narrator reacts to us suggesting this.
Then she finds a way out on her own.
Ugh, of course she does.
Okay. A little bit of affinity for the cheated. This shtick is probably going to get old the same way that the Contrarian did. But I'm a little sympathetic, at least, for this kind of fourth wall breaking bit. It's good. It's good, is the thing.
So, standing around out here is the same as us letting her out.
Only we don't have to see her. That's gotta be better, right? No, it's strictly worse. But she can't kill us out here. Why would staying out of killing distance be worse if she's getting out regardless?
Making good points.
Because it's cowardly, for starters. And because the unknown is always worse than the known.
I challenge that.
All you're doing right now is weighing two considerably bad options. The only solution worth considering is slaying her, and whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that. A delusion. If you already managed to end her in some other world, the only reason you'd be here is that you somehow managed to do it wrong. How are we supposed to decide on anything if you just keep coming up with new rules? Since when is there a wrong way to slay her?
Yes! Yeah, I love that every time that they refer to the narrator in pronouns, it's always capital H, he. Oh, gosh. Does this lead us to a new path? The last time that when we got the Contrarian ending, and then we loaded back into the start, this option had gone away. So it being back here makes me think that this will lead to a different path. At the same time, I kind of want to meet the Wraith. So, like, not for the narrator's sake, but for our own, I do want to go to the cabin. But also, I want to hear how he'll answer. And why should we help you? All you're going to do is lock us away forever again.
Tell you what, I won't do that. I promise.
Seems legit.
Oh yeah, sure. That changes everything. I mean, he did promise.
Oh god, a hero.
And you believed him?
Yeah. Just because I want to meet the Wraith. I want to be clear about this. This is extremely tempting, though, but I do want to meet the Wraith.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care.
This is a... Oh, what did we say we were going to do the next time we got to a chapter 2 with the mirror? Were we going to ignore the mirror? Was that the deal? I think that was the... There was something about the mirror that we were going to do the next time we got to a chapter 2. If the mirror is there, was it going to... We were going to ignore it, I think was the deal? Alright.
It sounds like somebody's about to crack.
Okay. Cole just keeps getting better. Are you trying to reverse psychology me, or have you just given up?
There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about letting her out. So yes, I'm done trying to argue.
Would you look at that? We won.
Take it however you will.
Perfect, let's go.
The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward.
So about that plan to ignore the mirror... We picked a bad time to settle on that option, y'all. Oh, you're right. This is chapter 3. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Last time was chapter 2. Okay, next time we get to a chapter 2, we'll ignore the mirror. It is hilarious to me that I thought this was chapter 3.
The only furniture of note is... That's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
A, I love that the blade is just completely gone. B, I love that the narrator can never see the mirror, and I love what that says. That's so good.
Great. Something else has been taken away from us.
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Let's pretend there is a mirror at the end of the hallway, and that right now, we can't see behind it. What's there? What's behind it?
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. The way to the basement? Don't you mean door? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. What are the odds she's waiting for us right behind it? If I were running a bullshit factory, it's what I'd do.
If I were running a bullshit factory, also a phenomenal line.
Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you, and certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement. He can't see the mirror. The knife is gone, defying his expectations. Who the hell is calling the shots here?
Yeah, the themes are becoming more and more blatant, and I love the slow burn. Yes, completely agreed. I love how it's just, like, in case you weren't picking up on it, it's just narrowing the focus. Oh, mwah, beautiful.
Nobody is calling the shots. That's how reality works.
we will approach the mirror.
You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched.
Every other time that we've clicked approach the mirror, we are just immediately at the mirror. That's the first time that it's been just a eh.
We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others.
I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
Wipe the mirror clean. I do love that this is always there. It's not look in the mirror or look at yourself in the mirror, look at your reflection. It's always wipe the mirror clean.
Here we go.
You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening.
Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Oh, we're back.
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts. Your bones snap. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
Phenomenal.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over.
What knife?
So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different.
You did say that last time, and you know what? Fair.
Do we even have a choice?
You always have a choice.
Do we?
Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time.
Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade?
Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
Oh ho? I thought you couldn't possess me on your own. I thought I needed to agree to it. Look, we're even now. I killed you, then you killed me. Water under the bridge, right? I don't think that's gonna fly, but never wanted to hurt you. I don't even know how I got here. No. I'm a victim in all of this too, you know. Yeah, Wouldn't possessing me against my will make you no better than me? You don't have to be evil. You don't have to do this. Do you need to take my body? Can't I just open the door for you? That's fine. I actually came here to free you. I mean, kinda. I'm gonna ask this first. Do you need to take my body? Can't I just open the door for you? No. No, we're gonna go straight to the end. That's fine. I actually came here to free you.
Great! See you in a jiffy.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head, and crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this.
I don't know.
You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here?
That's a great question.
Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul.
That's a hell of a sentence.
You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
That sound.
You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. I'd beg you to resist, but you've already surrendered your will to her, haven't you? Anything to get out of this hellhole. It's a new experience. You should try being possessed sometime. There's nothing else like it.
There's nothing wrong with fixing your mistakes. I'll remember this. But I'll also never forget what you've done.
You know what? That's fair.
Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle grinding ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world.
We're so close.
I love that it sounds like she's yelling at us from another room through a closed door.
But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything, it's getting further away.
I also like that this gives us a chance to see what it's like when she tries to escape and can't.
It doesn't matter how long this hallway is. I will drag this body till it is a piece of meat and feathers. I will be free.
Please, just let her out.
Yes, let me out.
That confirms that she can hear the voices.
It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer.
So you do have control.
You have described me into submission. The door is right there.
Let's go.
It really is, isn't it?
Now, does she have that power because we have that power?
I walk to it. I place your bloody hand on the door. I make you twist the handle.
Isn't saying all of this his job?
It's gone.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? I had a feeling you could deal with him for us.
I did nothing. He dealt with himself.
Interesting.
This is it then. The big moment. I just hope it's a way out.
Oh, if this door opens and there's nothing again.
The handle clicks as we push forward. Here.
As you step outside the bounds of the cabin, you feel another violent tear, a rending that cuts all the way down to your soul. You are once again separated from everything that had nestled in the deep crevices of your body, from everything that isn't you.
We're us again.
How interesting. We actually won, didn't we?
What is happening to me?
She's gonna get caught in the weave again, huh? Yep. But you don't answer her before she's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
So last time we said, it's gonna be okay, just trust me, we've been here before, and you always get scared. Which we could just keep saying. I still don't like this one. I think this time I'm not gonna say anything and just approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Oh. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
I hadn't put it together until literally this moment that the entity, or I guess we'll just start calling her the princess that we meet at the end of each chapter 3, it wasn't that she was like growing in power or anything like that. It's just the reason that she looked so immense at the end of the last chapter 3 was because at Apotheosis was when she was the godlike entity. She just looks like whatever she looked like at the end of that particular chapter. She just carries that imprint, that perspective into this space.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? What do you think of this vessel? You know, this time I'm actually tempted to ask this just because we've got such a different look. You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? I still don't know this. Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind? Have you figured out what you'll want when we've finished? Do you still not care what I bring you next? Any more vessels? I'm ready to go at... Oh, gosh. Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. I'm gonna read the other options, but this is objectively true. Do you resent me? No, not really. It all seems so distant as soon as I'm near you. Oh, that's also very good. I have no opinion one way or another on the matter. That's crap. I just want it all to stop. Oh. Yes, you're torturing me and I hate it. I think I hate you. Or just remain silent. Oof. Wow. If I don't make it, tell my wife hello. If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
I'm not sure that that's true, but that's a sweet read. Yeah, what do you think of this vessel?
This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart.
Okay, now that read I like.
Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Oh gosh. Have you figured out what you'll want when we've finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me.
Wonderful sentence.
I yearn for what I have always yearned for, my awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of self-knowledge.
Fair enough. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit, even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I think I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. And that's where we're gonna end for tonight. This game rules. Yeah, we'll be back with we'll be back with more of this next week. Monday 8 p.m. Eastern. More Slay the Princess. We're gonna start a whole new route. I have no idea what way we're gonna go this time. It's gonna be something new. We've kind of confirmed, I think, already that the game kind of won't let us do just a raw repeat of a way that we've gone before. But I don't know what path we're gonna set out upon. But yeah, we'll find out Monday. In the meantime, be sure to check out our full stream team schedule at schedule.truck.community. That has our whole stream team and what they're streaming on what days at what times with links to their respective channels. So you can watch streams all week long and see a whole variety of content from a variety of streamers. We're a wild bunch of people. I lost track of time. Speaking of streams, just a little bit. Once she's ready to go. Daylight savings time is rude and should not exist, but that's a whole separate rant. Over at twitch.tv/Squirrelily, assuming that the network is behaving as it should. Alice will be streaming more World's End Club, I think. Yes, possibly. Yes, that sounds right. So we'll send a raid her way here in just a bit. I think that's all the things. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will hope to see you next time. Good night, y'all.